All aboard, Admirals. Thank you for joining us this morning on WFMS, the Admirals Announcement Network. I'm Bethany.
And I'm Callie. Welcome to your home for news, announcements,
and more
on WFMS.
Now for today's news and announcements.
Did you know that Veterans Day is sometimes confused with Memorial Day? So what is Veterans Day all about? Well, let's take a look at this video to find out more, and then a short recognition from Mr. Adams of some of our veterans here at Farragut Middle.
Soldiers from wars both old and new march down city streets. Flags hang from homes, businesses, even car antennas. Ceremonies remember those who dutifully served their nation. It's Veterans Day, or Remembrance Day, as it's known in much of the world, a time to honor members of the armed forces. And it all began in a railroad car with a document to end the war to end all wars. World War I, also known as the Great War, shocked the global community with its unprecedented toll in human life. Untold millions were killed. Germany was running low on manpower and supplies, so they agreed to sign an armistice, or truce, in the French commander Ferdinand Foch's private railcar. On the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, all was quiet on the Western Front. The fighting had ended. Exactly 1 year later, President Woodrow Wilson decreed that Americans should observe a moment of silence at 11 a.m. to remember the armistice and to embrace the peace. Other Allied nations commemorated the peaceful anniversary as well. In England and Canada, citizens wore paper poppies. Poppies had become a symbol of the armistice. The poem Flanders Field described a one-time battlefield. In Flanders Field, the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row. In America, the nation's first unknown soldier was laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery on Armistice Day, 1921. He was a casualty of the Great War. Since that first memorial, other unknown soldiers from America's wars have been interred in the tomb. And it's become tradition for the president or one of his representatives to lay a wreath on the monument every November 11th. A resolution was passed in 1926 inviting all Americans to remember Armistice Day and the soldiers who fought so hard for peace. The idea caught on. By 1938, the day was marked with so many ceremonies and parades, Congress made it a legal holiday, giving people the day off work. After World War II and the Korean War, Americans wanted to open up the holiday to include not just World War I veterans, but all who served in combat. In 1954, President Dwight Eisenhower, a World War II vet himself, legally changed the U.S. Armistice Day to Veterans Day, honoring those who served in all American wars. For a brief time, starting in 1971, Congress moved the holiday to the fourth Monday in October, giving Americans a three-day weekend. But most people rejected the idea. The traditional date of November 11th, the anniversary of the Great War's ceasefire, was too historically important to forget. President Ford reversed the law in 1975, returning Veterans Day back to its rightful date. Over the decades, the holiday has changed with the times. Originally, it was a call for world peace. Then in the U.S., it became a day to remember war veterans. Today, Veterans Day is set aside to honor not just those who served in war, but also those who have served their nation in peace.
Good morning, Admirals. Today is Veterans Day, which is a day dedicated to expressing gratitude to the brave men and women who have served our country. In the spirit of recognizing the dedication and service of both our veterans and our teachers, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt appreciation for their service, sacrifice, and commitment to our country. On this Veterans Day, we honor Mr. Lance England and Mr. Timothy Ledford. Mr. England served 18 years in the Army as a staff sergeant, combat medic, and instructor. Mr. Ledford served 10.5 years in the U.S. Air Force as an ES staff sergeant. On behalf of Farragut Middle School, I extend my deepest gratitude to Mr. England and Mr. Ledford. Your service, sacrifice, and commitment do not go unnoticed, and we are proud to have you as an integral part and members of our school community.
Thank you, Mr. Adams, for that time of recognition, and a huge thank you to Mr. England and Mr. Ledford and all of our veterans for the service to our country. Now for our sports brief.
What's up, Admirals? We have one quick sports update for you today. Both our boys and girls basketball games tonight will be away games. We will be playing Northwest at Northwest. Games will begin at 5 o'clock, not 4:30. So please come out and join us. And again, games will begin at 5 o'clock. We hope to see you there.
Thank you for joining us this morning on WFMS, Admirals News Network. Make good choices,
Be kind,
stay safe,
and we will see you on Tuesday.